Howdy everyone, I'm Pierson. I'm from the Salt Fog Chamber Corrosion Senior Design Team, and today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of the operation of our chamber. So first off, I wanted to talk about the general structure. We have two separate assemblies. We have our control unit right here, which sits on top of a utility cart. The control unit's purpose is to house all the electronics and houses the control panel to where you can manipulate all the electronics. And then it also has all of our fluid control flow, which has a saltwater pump and the bubble tower, which the bubble tower's purpose is to heat and saturate compressed air that's delivered to the chamber. So first off, how to start everything up, or how to prepare everything, which we've already done, but I'm going to walk through. We have our brine tank inlet, where you can pour the brine into a tank that's at the bottom of the control unit. And then we have the air filter regulator right here. This is what regulates the pressure coming from the wall. So we have it set to around 30 psi, and we have this tube routes all the way to the wall outlet, which we'll turn on in a second. And then the outlet of the regulator goes to the top of the bubble tower, which is underneath this panel. So now moving to the chamber itself, we can open it up. It's fairly easy to open up. We've got these cover props right here. You pull them down like that, and then you can do any manipulation that you need within the chamber. So our main operating principle is all right here. We have our spray tower, we have our diffuser, which is an inverted cone that diffuses fog. The nozzle assembly is inside of the spray tower. It's got two nozzles. One points upwards and is connected to this clear tube right here, which supplies the saturated air. And then the opaque tube is what delivers the saltwater solution, and that is siphoning up salt water straight from the tank beneath it. And the saltwater pump in the control unit is what delivers the salt water to this tank right here, and once it's full, this float valve will cut that off. And we have two different types of sample mounts. We have an HDPE rod right here where you can hang samples, and then we also have PVC slants, as you see here, where you can rest samples flat. The chamber is at an operating temperature of 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is supplied by this heater, and that is submerged in water during the test. And to ensure that submerged in water, we have the float level sensor right there, which will not let the test run unless it is activated. And there's also the overheat protector for the chamber right next to the heater. All right, and then finally, going around the perimeter of the top is the permeable trough. During operation, this is filled with water, and it creates a physical seal that doesn't allow for any salt fog to escape. And then once you're done with the test, you can drain out all of the water through this valve right here. And just to clarify, the water that's inside of the chamber is deionized water, and the water that's inside of the tank is salt water. So we can put that back down. And then now starting up the test. So this is our control panel. This is where we manipulate the function of the machine. We have our power, so we'll power on the system. Then we'll turn on our heating with this switch. It turns on both of our temperature controllers. We have one for the chamber, and then we have one for the bubble tower, which is housed within the control unit. And then the pumping switch is here, which we've already sufficiently pumped salt water to the chamber, so I can leave this one off. And then we can turn on our compressed air. We can turn on spring now, so you can see the pressure coming up in the gauge. And then we can also start our timing function. And our timer is set to 1.5 hours right here. And then we have our time accumulator as well, which will show how long a test has been running. And then all of our signal lights at the top. Some of these things are safety. We have overheat chamber and overheat bubble tower on each end to make sure that the heaters don't go past the temperature that it's set to. We have lack water chamber to ensure that the heater's submerged, and then test stop, test running, and then drain water bubble tower if it's overfilled. And the control unit is hooked up to the chamber from these two tubes here. So this is the saltwater solution tube, and then this is the saturated air that's being supplied to the chamber, and it's plugged in through this cord on the right. So we've got the fume hood on. We can actually open this up and see what it looks like. So as you can see, we've got salt fog being produced. You can see our samples within there. And you can see how the spray is hitting this diffuser and it's helping it diffuse out. So that's the overall setup of our chamber. Thank you for your time.